Hey you, so on this video today, 5 mistakes reselling collector coins. I'm going to be talking about some mistakes that individuals do, or I've done myself, and giving some tips and some points to avoid when it comes to collecting and stacking collector coins. Now I'm going to be focusing on only collector coins, as it's the coins that I've gone on to see fantastic profits on when I've gone on to resell them. So this is going to be only on collector coins. So I'm going to be giving 5 points or pieces of advice that should be taken on board to help you, and you definitely want to avoid when it comes to reselling your collector coins. So I'm going to break straight into this. So the first point is going to be, don't be greedy. I'm displaying an array of collector coins and foundation coins here. So when I say don't be greedy, it's a combination of don't be greedy and opportunistic. Now there's a difference. You can be cheeky when it comes time to sell a collector coin, depending on whether you're the only one with that actual coin in question. So for instance, it can be a 1 gold coin that you have, an ounce gold coin, and you want to get the maximum price for it. Of course, it's not going to be a 1 of 1. So if we're talking about an individual 1 gold coin, you're going to want to do a bit of groundwork and legwork and see what a good buying or selling price is, as opposed to just getting the coin and whacking it up to the absolute maximum. That's being opportunistic and greedy, and it can do more harm to you than good, as you could be left clinging onto the coin or put you in a bad place and space towards really thinking strategically to sell that coin. Now when I say you can be cheeky, there's things to do when you can send out little feelers, and I'll get into that on the next tip. But tip number 1 is definitely don't be greedy. You know, be realistic and keep level-headed, and you can go on to make some awesome profits when it comes to collector coins. But you know, this is something I've definitely suffered from, that I've had to readjust in my stacking approach. Greed's going to kick in at all times. We see dealers do it specifically. Now we need to understand, with dealers, they stock thousands of coins, some dealers to hundreds of coins. Now these coins go on to sit on the shelves to either stagnate, limp along. They may go up every other month, so I'm saying, and then they get a 1 coin that comes in, and you'll see the dealer increasing that coin. We all know dealers that have gone on to increase coins hourly, literally. Now you have to understand, they do it because they have so much stock of coins that literally just sit around that do absolutely nothing. So at one time they have a coin that's got enough hype around it, they're going to maximize and take absolute advantage of that. You coming to resell now, you don't want to get caught in that same bubble and taking on their tactics. You need to think a lot more strategic. So don't let greed hold you back, because when you're greedy in any situation, it's never a good thing, and you can get blinded by that, literally. So point number 2 when it comes to 5 mistakes reselling collector coins is don't be deluded. Now I've heard through the grapevine there's an individual that believes that I done a coin that they've asked me to do a video on, some form of disservice that's gone on to have the coin now start tanking in resells. Now first and foremost, I want to say he's a cool guy. There's absolutely no malice in what I'm about to explain here between our little situation that happened, and as long as you're cool, I'm cool. But you need to understand, especially with collector coins, when it's hot today and not tomorrow, what goes up must come down. That's literally what's happened. So when I say don't be deluded, I'm going to give him as the example here. Now you can think that your coin is worth more than it is, you can believe that it's worth more than it is, but you need to have some type of factual information to reinforce these thoughts and beliefs. You can't just make the assumption that it's great. When we're talking about the 100 city coin and believing that my video done it this service, I was very diplomatic when I done the video, but I was also very straight to the point and tried to be as frank as possible. If you ask me for something, whether it be in private message or the likes of, I'm not going to give you no sweet lines. If you're asking for my own personal point of opinion, it's going to be bitter truth. If it's bitter truth in a good way where we can both gain, then hoorah. If it's bitter truth where you feel like you've lost, that's just the way it's going to be. That's just the way I am. A few pointers for why I believe the city coin wasn't the best. It was a Frankenstein coin, as I mentioned. That's one of the few tips. And comparing it to the Perth Mint Phoenix Dragon, the Perth Mint is hands down the best mint out there, especially when it's coming to collector coins. The Scottsdale Mint, comparing the two, is night and day. The Perth Mint would have never released that city coin. The Perth Mint on the Phoenix Dragons have a lower mintage. These things don't even need to be taken into account when we're talking about the Scottsdale 100 city coin. There's a couple of things you've done in your actions that I touched upon in the video that done the coin more of a disservice than you could imagine. Approaching the mint that early in the game and giving them a heads up, you technically shot yourself in the foot. And these are touching on the points I'm making. Assuming the coin automatically was a $600 coin, you got caught up in the first one when I was explaining don't be greedy. Don't believe I'm attacking you here, but if you was a close friend of mine, these are things I would have advised you on had you came up to me and said, what do you think? Should I approach the mint? I would have said no. What do you think? $600 a good price? I would have said no. Now, not saying these things can't be done, but these are just my own personal opinions. Once again, absolutely nothing definitive. You've been caught up in the first 2 points that I'm making here. And that is, I believe you got a little greedy. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. As I've mentioned, I've been there, and you was a little deluded on the strength of the coin. It was, as you explained yourself, a Frankenstein coin not to be. You was expecting an unethical, well, I wouldn't call them an unethical mint, but you expected the mint to play fair, and you realised that they'll play dirty to save themselves. You gave them a heads up, and they got into damage control straight away. You then needed them to play fair, to collaborate with you, to confirm that was an error. That was never going to happen. So there was many things that happened there where I feel you suffered from both of the 2 points I'm mentioning. If you done, the best thing you done was approach me and me put the video out. I was hoping you could have got some type of substance from that and realized that, you know, you had a product that was hot, and it still is. It's just not. I'll touch upon another point in a moment that will relate to what we're talking about here, but your expectations of the coin was way too high, in my opinion. So that's going to be point number 2, people. Don't be greedy. Now, once again, absolutely no malice whatsoever, mister. I think you're a real cool guy, and, you know, as long as you're cool, I'm cool. You know, we can move forward from here and wait for the next Franken coin or error to come along, and we can make some money from there. But as I understand, this is where a lot of incredible Hulk stackers are born, when they either believe they've been burnt or something didn't go their way through misinformation or taken on certain wrong ways, and then they just get angry and start dogging a certain type of coin or a certain stacking form. So this is why many can learn from these mistakes right now to help you not going down or to the dark side. So that's point number 2. Don't be deluded. Now, point number 3 is going to be know your price and test the waters with that. So you can either adjust it and increase it or decrease it. Now, this is exactly what I mean. You can price it at whatever you want. If you've got the one gold coin, you're not going to be greedy or opportunistic. You can be cheeky. You know, it's always best to test the waters. If there's absolutely nothing for you to do legwork on, go out there, see what the current coin's selling for, ask individuals what you think you should sell it for. This is for an individual with one coin. If you've got a number of the coins, it's going to do you absolutely no harm to put it on the secondary market. Be cheeky if you want to be, or just test the waters, because it's insanity to just have a coin, stick a number on it and believe it's going to touch that number. You know, you have a vested interest. You doing that type of legwork there is giving you the information and the data you need to reconfirm whether your coin's going to go on to do silly numbers, or whether you really need to level out your numbers and be more realistic with yourself. Assuming it's going to keep on increasing and increasing, you really need to have a lot of hard facts in your favor, whether the coin is strong enough and the likes of us, which I'll be touching upon next. So that's going to be tip number 3. You know your price, and definitely go out and test the waters and then adjust your price. These are things a lot of people don't take into account. They just have a number in their head and assume that number is going to keep on increasing over time. So, you know, that is what it is. Now, the next tip is going to be understanding that time is either working for you or against you. Now, when I say that, it all depends on the coin that we're talking about here. There can be certain coins that you pick up and time is working against you, so you've technically picked up a ticking time bomb. And with collector coins, obviously we're going to be focusing on here, so you may want to be getting that coin out of your possession as soon as possible, or sooner than later. Whereas there's certain pieces you can pick up and they go on to appreciate like fine wine over time. Once again, all depending on the type of coin we're talking about. Many things to factor in. The coin can be a brand new coin from a very, very strong series that's going to be going on over a period of time, or the coin can just be a coin that just, as time goes by, it appreciates like fine wine, and so you have absolutely nothing to worry about with those types of coins. You know from the start and the get-go, as long as you're not being deluded, your coin, time is going to be working on your side for that coin. So you know, you could be working on a little later than sooner, but understand what category your collector coin falls into, whether time is working for you or against you, really does need to be taken into account straight away. Now, these are once again things that I've seen individuals fall to because they didn't understand or take this into account. So definitely something to take on board there, understanding whether time is working for your coin or against your coin. Now, the last point I'm going to be getting into is a piece of information where individuals need to stick to the script. Now, when I say stick to the script, everybody has to have their own script, a common script. My script is that I purchase foundation coins, and they're the inflation, a hedge against inflation, insurance and the likes of, and I pick these up at the best price. Everybody either goes for weight or they go for government minted, and I stack these and stack these and stack these, and these are coming along with me for the long run. You know, this is my long con game here, my foundation coins. Then I pick up collector coins, as I've mentioned in my stack structure priority video, to sell on so that I'm able to purchase more foundation coins. That's my script. My script is I purchase these for the long game. These are going with me all the way, and when the time comes when we've got some type of crash or crisis, I then approach these and see what I'm going to do. I purchase these and sell these sooner than later, or when the time is absolutely ripe to purchase more of these. That's my script. What you don't want to be doing is getting the script intertwined. Now, this is a script I didn't start off with, so do you understand? So anybody and everybody can learn something from this. As I've been going along picking up collector coins and selling them and the likes of, whether winning or losing, this is the script I'm working off of now. This is me sticking to this script. At one point it was like this. I was purchasing the foundation, purchasing the collectors, and just crossing my fingers and wishing for the best, or telling myself at a later date maybe it's going to do a lot better for me. Whereas once I look at it realistically, it doesn't make no sense. I want to cross the finishing line with these and not these. I want to capitalize off these at their peak, assuming and believing that any collector coin, the longer you hold it for, is going to get more and more you know, premium come time to sell. Those days have long gone with the collector coins. The collector coins now, certain pieces, especially in gold or silver, can really appreciate and do well as time goes by. But you know, you have to understand, more and more mints are coming out with more and more designs. What's hot today may not be hot tomorrow. So if you're going to be picking it up for the long term, really understand or get your script together and understand what is what, and don't have them both intertwined under that assumption that, you know, the high premium coin's going to come along. Yes, high premium coins will cross the finishing line with me, but the ones I can really capitalize on now, I will. So this is what I mean by stick to the script. So it'd be fantastic if individuals can put in the comments anything they can add to this when it comes to reselling collector coins, and tips to avoid, or any piece of advice to take on board, as it's really tricky. You know, it's a landmine out there, landfield, and if you don't know what you're getting into, you can really get burnt, as some individuals have been, and then they just go on to leave the collector coin game all alone. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. As we've mentioned, stack and wait is the safest way, but there's definitely opportunities out there. As some of my recent videos have shown, I've picked up collector coins, say 200 collector coins, gone on to sell 100 for 200 average medium premium coins, and then 4 ounces of gold with the other 100. So it's fantastic, very lucrative, but you really need to know what you're doing. Every coin you pick up is not going to be a winner. Don't be greedy, don't be deluded. test the waters, most definitely test the waters. Understand time is either working for your coin or against your coin, and get your script. If it's the same as mine, stick to the script. So hate it or love it, guys. It'd be fantastic to know what you think. Go ahead, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys on the rebound.